Hey there, everyone. Hopped on just about a minute early, so I'll wait for some of you to chime in here. Hope y'all had a great weekend. I know where I was here in Wisconsin, we had beautiful weather, nice sunshine, and beautiful colors are starting to appear. It's one of my favorite times of day, or times of year, times of day, is when all those fall leaves change. Just absolutely love it. And you'll see by some of the samples I made tonight, I got influenced by that just a little bit. Alrighty. So everything I'm using tonight can be found either in the July to December 2022 catalog or the 2022-2023 annual catalog. Okay, everything will get posted on the website, or I'm sorry, on my Facebook page. When this video goes up later, you'll know in the pictures, you'll know where to find everything that I used either here on my project on camera or else the ones that are the samples. Alrighty, so let's get started with tonight. What you're going to need to have handy is a card base that's 8.5 by 5.5, and you're going to score it at 4 1/4. I'm going to be using crumb cake, a piece of cardstock or designer series paper. That's your choice. That is 3 by 5. And hopefully you caught my note in the post. For the size stamps you want, the large stamps, we're going to fill this neutral piece, not the 3 by 5 piece. We're going to fill this neutral piece with your images. So you need a neutral piece that's 2.5 by 4.5 and another one that is 1 by 2. And I've got Very Vanilla for those. All right, I'm going to be working with Beauty of Friendship. So when I said large image stamps, like I said, we're going to take this 2.5 by 4.5 piece and create your focal scene, so to speak. Now, whether that makes random images that you put on there or you actually create a scene with what you're building, that's totally up to you. I've done a little bit of both in my samples, so you kind of, I'll show you what I'm talking about. And then you need a phrase to fit that 1 by 2 piece. All right, so let's go ahead and build our scene. I'm going to start with my tree base in soft suede ink. All right, and let's see, I want it not too far down. There we go. Set that aside because I know I'll stick my finger in it eventually. Hi, Aunt Mary. Good to see you tonight. Hope all is well up by you guys. You guys having pretty fall colors yet? I know we are. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. All right, now I'm going to take my soft succulent. Now, this is a 2-step stamp. So this particular one here already has some light and shade in it. And then this is a more detailed one. So I do my lighter color here and my darker color here. So I'm going to start off with my soft succulent. Now I'm going to get my head in the way a little bit here because I want to make sure I'm kind of getting in the middle there. That my tree doesn't get too wonky looking. All right, there is the top of the tree. And let's see, as long as I have the soft succulent out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my phrase because that's what I used for that. It says, "You truly inspire me." All right, now I can close that up. Oh, wait, I forgot one more piece. I have a little bit of what you would consider to be the grass, sort of at the base of the tree. That's what this little guy is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and add him in the succulent as well. Okay, now that kind of grounds my tree, anchors it onto the page. Hi, Candy, good to see you tonight. Kind of anchors it down there a little bit. It doesn't quite look like it's just a floating tree anymore. All right, set him aside. And then my overlay here, this piece right here, is going to be done in the Evening Evergreen. Those two ink colors, oh my gosh, they complement each other so well. And as much as it's frustrating when we do complete makeovers of color, I'm kind of hoping that eventually these two guys make it into the full spectrum color families because I absolutely love them and I think they're beautiful. Like I said, they make beautiful complements to each other in this, especially for anything like this where you've got your trees and all that kind of stuff. All right, so now the rest is just assembly. So you're going to go ahead and fold that. Okay, this one's going to be vertical, obviously. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take my tree image. Oh, come on. There we go. And put that on my Evening Evergreen cardstock, like so. And then I'm going to actually offset this. Now, normally, you know, you kind of feel like a centered option. At least I do anyway. I think sometimes it's really a little my OCD thing. I like nice borders and even layouts, but I'm going to do it off to the side actually. And that's going to give me a spot for my sentiment to kind of lay in. So depending on what you've done here, this should hopefully fit either, you know, up at the top, in the middle, or at the bottom, whatever works for you. And I apologize, I think Zach is very antsy tonight and he's thumping his feet on the floor, so I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. But if you're wondering what the little poundy sound is, that would be Zach probably sitting at his table, at the table, finishing up his dinner. Okay, what else was I going to say about this one? Oh, I actually took inspiration from this. Might take me a minute to find it, so maybe I will look that up later. But I was perusing the catalog and decided to do something that I call like case the catalog. So let's say as you're flipping through, you kind of look at this one and you go, oh, you know what? I really like the layout that they did with this. Just grab anything that you've got and then create that same layout. So there's lots. Oh, here it is. This is the one. That is where I got the inspiration for the layout tonight. So you can see it's a card base, a little offset image to the side, and then they had a phrase on a punched out shape and with a little bit of ribbon. So I just simplified it a little bit. But yeah, so I kind of like the way that these guys paired together off each other. So that was a case of the catalog moment. All right, set that off to the side while you guys are finishing up, and I'll show you. Here's one I did with the, it's upside down. That's why it looks funny. Soft seedling stamp set that is in the mini catalog. And here's what I said before too, like if you want to create just a focal point of imagery, not necessarily a scene. Here I took that leaf and I stamped it in several different colors all the way around. I kept one kind of very visible, obvious statement piece and then just filled in the blank space with the other colors. So I used curry and pumpkin and Cajun craze on my leaf colors. Those are a really good combination for anything fall, the fall leaf combination that I like to use. All right, then I used, I forgot what this one was called. Dragonfly Garden, there we go. I didn't use the dragonfly images, that's why it purged from my brain for a second. And I just used my sponge daubers to kind of rub in some color that could be like leaves and grass, and then some of the crushed curry for the flowers themselves. And this one is Lighthouse Point. So this one I did a little die cutting with. And you can see I've started to add some dimension in some of these places, like this verse has popped up. This verse had a mounted cardstock behind it just to make it pop off a little more. I used DSP here. This is cardstock, but I embossed it with an embossing folder first, a little bit more dimension going on there. And I stamped and die cut the lighthouse. So you can see, there we go. He's got some dimension going on there with him too. And then I filled in the rest with some scenic parts. The lighthouse one is one of those that you can build a lot of great scenery with. Lighthouse pieces, ocean, rocks, clouds, all kinds of really fun stuff to play with in that one. And then this one here uses the Honeybee Home. I colored it in with my blends, and I added the 2 layers of black behind each one there, just to make them really pop off. It really draws the focus in, I think. Thanks, Kathy. I really had fun playing with this layout. I kind of had to cut myself off a little bit before I got too many samples going. This has the Splendid Day Designer Series paper, so there's a little bit of freesia on freesia tone happening in there. That one was really fun. I haven't used this stamp set in a while, so that was kind of fun to break out that one. All right, let me move these out of the way. I'm going to show you the stepped up version. So I took a couple different pieces from all of those things that I did. So I added a layer of embossed. It's tone on tone, so it is still just the crumb cake, and I embossed it with the timber embossing folder. So that's a 4 1/4 by 5 or 4 by 5 1/4 piece. I took a piece of DSP from Painted Christmas, and I sponged, not sponged, with my blending brush. I added evergreen to it to break up the white that was in here, because I wanted I always feel better with some of these tones being vanilla. I like that a little bit better. I want to take some of the white out of the DSP. Then this is the frayed ribbon, which I had, here we go. The frayed ribbon. It's a little bit wider ribbon. I believe it's 1 inch. Let me see if I can read that in the teeny tiny print. 3/4 of an inch. And it's cotton and it's frayed. It'll pull apart really easily if you want to have some really fun fringe effect going on. It'll pull apart really easily like that. Now what I did is I cut a length that was equal to my card edge, and I took a blending brush and my evergreen ink, and I just really lightly brushed across it. So it didn't totally turn green, but it's got green highlights in there, just for something a little fun and different to show off the edge there. All right, I think that was all the descriptor parts. So there are those two trees. Those again was Beauty of Friendship. This one is Soft Seedlings, Honeybee Home, Dragonfly Garden, and Lighthouse Point. Alrighty, well that is all I got for you tonight. This one was super quick. The time-consuming part, of course, was building your scene. So the rest of that is just layout. You could easily reproduce like just this piece here with some designer series paper, and you'd have it even more lickety-split card ready to go. All right, thanks for joining me tonight, everybody. Have a great week, and I will see you again next Monday. Take care.